So for the purposes of making this video of your alpine stitch, I'm using Loops and Threads Impeccable in kind of a teal colour, and it's asking me to use a 5mm hook. So off we go. So the first thing you're going to want to do is chain in multiples of 2. So that's yarn over and make a loop with the long piece attached to your ball of yarn. Bring it through that loop, catch it with your hook and just pull on the small end to tighten it, and then pull on the long end to tighten up that loop. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's my count of 2, and that's as far as I'm going to go. And then you always do the extra one because that's going to give you the height to do your next row, which is of single crochets. So into the second loop from the hook, which is this one here, you're going to go in and do a single crochet. So that's just simply hook in, yarn over your hook and bring it through the chain. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and come through both of those loops, and that creates a single crochet. So as I said, we're going to do that all the way along. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the last one is just this one here for 10. So I do have an even amount of single crochets in that row, like so. So then we're going to chain 2, which will give us the height of our double crochet or single crochet or triple crochet if you're in the UK. This does not count as anything more other than to get the height of the next row. Turn your work, and as you can see, this is the first stitch that you need to go into. This is where the chain is coming out of. The chain we're not counting as a stitch. So that's yarn over, hook into that stitch. Now if I turn it here, you'll be able to see 1 loop here and 2 loops here. When you put your hook in, you're going to go through both of those loops. So yarn over and hook straight in to those 2 loops there. Yarn over the hook, bring it through. So you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over, come through 2. Again, you're going to do that all the way along, and this is what we call the setup rows. Okay, so into the next one, yarn over, both of those loops there, yarn over, come through, take off 2, take off 2. Now it is important that you do recognise the top of the stitch so that when we come in a couple of rows time you'll be able to see it. So there's the top of a single crochet, there's the top of a single crochet, there's another one. So if you are a beginner, just take a second just to really recognise the top of those stitches. Okay, so off we go. All the way along. Now obviously if you're making a blanket or a pillow cover or a scarf, this is going to be a lot longer for you. I'm literally only doing these 10 stitches just to show you how to do this beautiful alpine stitch. So your work should start to look something a little bit like that. Okay, so the next row we're going to do chain 1, turn, and again we're going to do single crochets all the way along. So here's that first stitch again that we're going to go into, and just simply single crochet all the way along. So I'm going to speed mine up a little bit. If you need to pause the video, please, now is the best time to do it. Please go ahead, and I'll see you when you're ready to catch me back up. So this is the last one that we go into here. We do not go into the chain stitch at all for this whole entire stitch. That's the Alpine stitch, not just this row. Okay, so then we're going to chain 2, and this is the row where the magic happens. So let's have a look at our work. We've got the chain here up the next row. Again, we're going to ignore that one. So this here is the first row of double crochets that we did, triple crochet if you're in the UK. They're the ones that we're going to be focusing on. Okay, can you see all these bars here? That's where we're going to go. So we're going to do double crochets again. We're going to go yarn over, and we're going to completely ignore the chain, which is this first bit here, and we're going to go around this one. So instead of going into the top of a stitch, we're going to go into this bar here. So we've done our yarn over, we're going to go in and through. Now if you have a look at the back, you should be able to see a clean hook without any yarn over that hook whatsoever. Turning it to the front, we need to complete our double crochet, but because this is the magic round, we need something special to happen. So yarn over and come through. But if you complete your double crochet here where your hook sits, that's where your stitch is going to be. So gently just pull your hook up. You will use a little bit, you'll feel it pulling on this bit of yarn, that's fine. Yarn over, come through 2, yarn over and come through 2, and by pulling that up, that's going to give it the height. Now remember, I asked you to really focus on the top of these stitches here. Here's why. Because we've gone into this stitch, we don't need to worry about the first one here, because theoretically we've used it because it's part of this line here. Okay, so in essence we're going to skip this one and do our next double crochet into this next one. Easy. Just have a look at your work. I'm making it sound a lot more complicated than what it is. Yarn over and a simple double crochet into your next stitch. Okay, double crochet, yarn over, not into that one, but we're going to do a front post double crochet into this one, because this one we did the double crochet for. Okay, so this one we're going to do the front post, because you're pulling it forward, it's coming to the front, you're doing it around the post, double crochet again, just lift your hook up gently, yarn over, take off 2, yarn over, take off 2. We're going to skip this stitch because theoretically we've used it. We're going to go into this one here, through both of those loops for a normal double crochet. So if you have a look at your work now, you've got these posts that are coming forward, and that's why it's called a front post double crochet. Okay, so now we need to go into this one here. Okay, so yarn over, come through the post, again not catching any yarn from behind, completely through that post, yarn over, pull the hook up to the height of your work, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over and come through 2. So you're going to carry on in that fashion all the way to the end, and I'll see you back here. So I'm coming up to my last ones, and then I'm going to do my front post double crochet or front post triple crochet if you're in the UK. My last one there, and then I should have one stitch left to do a normal double crochet into this last stitch here, not into the chain, and chain 1, turn. So this is going to be a single row row, single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to complete row 2 of the actual pattern. So the beginning bit was just your setup. So that's what your work should begin to look like. So now we're going to go back to our front post double crochet row, or front post triple crochet if you're in the UK. Now the first time we did it, we came straight down and missed this stitch, went into this one to do a normal crochet. We're going to do the opposite now, so we want the middle ones to stick out. Okay, so you're going to do a normal double crochet into this first stitch here. Then a front post double crochet into the second post that you come to, not including your chain. So right the way round that post, yarn over and bring your work up, otherwise it won't be tall enough to complete your double crochet. Now again, we're not going to use this stitch because we've used it as a post, and we're going to come into this next one here for a normal double crochet. The next stitch is a front post double crochet. If you can see a post coming forward, you're going to move to the next one. Like that. Not going to use this stitch, we're going to come to this stitch in here, and we're going to do that all the way along. I'll get to here and show you how to finish this row. So I've completed 8 stitches in entirety along this row, so I've got 2 left. However, I do have 2 stitches left but no front post to do, so you are actually just going to do a double crochet as normal. So you've done your front post and then a double crochet, and then the last stitch of this particular row is going to be just a normal double crochet in this last stitch. Chain 1, single crochet along for 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, chain 2, and that's it. That's all you do to create your alpine stitch. So this row you're going to go straight into this one to do your post, normal double crochet. So you alternate these 2 rows. So this is row 1, and then you do row 2, which is single crochet. Row 3 you alternate your front post, and you're going to continue doing those 3 different rows until your work measures exactly what you need it to. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Rebecca of Create Crochet, and I will see you soon, my lovelies.